Wilkie Collins, The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, fiction. Embark on a thrilling journey through Wilkie Collins, The Woman in White, a complex tale of love, deceit, and the search for identity. In this captivating book summary, you will follow the story of artist Walter Hartwright, who finds himself entwined in a web of mystery and romance at Limmeridge House. As Walter delves deeper into the secrets surrounding Laura Fairley, Marian Holcomb, and the enigmatic woman in white, he discovers an intricate plot fueled by greed and corruption involving Sir Percival Glyde and Count Fosco. Witness the power of a woman's patience and a man's resolution in this gripping, twisting narrative, which explores themes of love, loyalty, and justice.
The Mysterious Woman in White. Artist Walter Hartwright agrees to be a drawing teacher for two young ladies residing at Limmeridge House, a grand estate in the Lake District. One night, while returning home, he encounters a distressed, unknown lady. She requests him to escort her to London, and Walter obliges after she insists upon leaving at her discretion. During their journey, the lady reveals her fondness for Limmeridge House and recognizes the Fairley family. After arranging a carriage ride for the woman, Walter learns from two carriage men that the lady dressed in white had escaped from an asylum. The Woman in White. Walter arrives at Limmeridge House to work as a drawing master for the two orphan sisters, Marian and Laura, who live with their eccentric uncle. During his stay, Walter shares his encounter with a mysterious woman in white on Hampstead Heath with Marian. Determined to uncover the woman's connection to Limmeridge House and Mrs. Fairley, Laura's mother, Marian agrees to help him investigate. Meanwhile, Laura's health deteriorates, and her engagement to Sir Percival Glyde may not be all that it seems. With suspense and intrigue, The Woman in White takes readers on a captivating journey through Victorian England. Unveiling ends past. While digging through Mrs. Fairley's old letters, Marian discovers that Anne, a mysterious woman, had stayed with Mrs. Catherick in the village and was taken under Mrs. Fairley's wing. Anne's learning difficulties and mental handicap are revealed, and her obsession with dressing in white is linked to her gratefulness towards Mrs. Fairley. Despite Laura's vague memories of Anne, Marian and Walter's investigation into her past comes to a standstill. Love, patience, and resolution. Over the next few months, Laura spends time with Marian and Walter, and they develop romantic feelings for each other. However, Laura's father insists that she marries Sir Percival Glyde, causing her distress. Before Walter leaves, an anonymous letter warns Laura not to marry Sir Percival and urges her to investigate his background. Walter suspects and wrote the letter and confronts her, but she is upset and anxious. Sir Percival arrives, and Walter leaves for an expedition in Central America. The story explores the endurance of a woman's patience and the resolution of a man's actions. Uncovering deception. Marian investigates Sir Percival's hidden motives while trying to clear Anne's claims. Despite unsuccessful efforts to uncover any dirt on Sir Percival, Marian still challenges him about Anne's asylum claim. He assures her that he took care of Anne out of obligation to her mother and encourages Marian to verify the story. After receiving confirmation from Mrs. Catherick, Marian can't find any fault with Sir Percival. As the wedding approaches, Sir Percival demands that Laura's fortune goes only to him if she dies without children. Despite Mr. Gilmore's objections, Fairley chooses to follow the path of least resistance and agrees to Sir Percival's conditions. Laura surrenders to the situation and marries Sir Percival, but little did she know what awaits her in the future. Unforeseen Dangers. Laura and Sir Percival return from their honeymoon in Italy, but Laura is unhappy with her marriage, and Sir Percival turns out to be abusive. Count Fosco, a friend of Sir Percival's, and his wife are also guests at the estate, and Laura despises Count Fosco, while Marian is charmed by him. However, Marian soon discovers that Count Fosco is more dangerous and manipulative than Sir Percival. Count Fosco uses his intelligence and cunning to exert power, while Sir Percival uses violence. Laura's sister urges her not to show her dislike of Count Fosco, as he seems to have influence over Sir Percival. The story highlights the unforeseen dangers that lurk beneath seemingly charming people and situations. Debt, documents, and deception. Sir Percival, in severe debt, tries to force Laura to sign a document without disclosing its contents. Laura suspects it's about her money and refuses. Sir Percival becomes violent until Count Fosco intervenes. Marian contacts a lawyer to determine Laura's rights, receiving advice not to sign anything. Marian comes across Count Fosco, who tells her that Sir Percival has agreed to give Laura time to decide. Secret revealed. Laura's attempt to escape her abusive husband Sir Percival hits a snag when someone intercepts their letters seeking legal help and steals Laura's fortune. Count Fosco and Sir Percival team up to prevent Laura from finding out about Sir Percival's secret, including threatening her sister Anne. Marian eavesdrops on the pair and overhears their scheme to steal the fortune. However, before she can warn Laura, Marian falls ill with a serious cold, falling into a weeks-long delirium. A deadly deception. Count Fosco uses a cunning ploy to trick Laura and inherit her fortune. He persuades Mr. Fairley to send Laura to his house in London and moves Marian to an unoccupied part of the house. Laura agrees to travel to London, but days later, she is confirmed dead. Sir Percival and Countess Fosco inherit her fortune while Marian fights for her life. A twist of fate. Walter returns to England devastated by the news of Laura's death only to discover an unexpected surprise at her grave. Marian shares Laura's mysterious disappearance and eventual discovery at an asylum. Despite Mr. Fairley's refusal to accept Laura, Marian brings her to Limerick as proof of life. However, the trauma of her captivity has transformed her into a different person. The challenging search for identity. Walter and Marian find themselves in a rundown part of London with Laura, who is posing under a false identity. Walter is determined to restore Laura's identity and begins documenting their findings with Marian's help. They learn about how Count Fosco tricked Anne into coming to his home and presented her as Laura, Lady Glyde. Anne dies suddenly, and everyone thinks it was Laura, who was really sequestered away in an asylum using Anne's name. Walter takes their findings to Mr. Curl, but their case wouldn't stand in court because Laura can't remember much about her journey to London or the days before her confinement. To reclaim Laura's identity, they must prove she arrived in London after Anne's death. Neither Laura nor the housekeeper, Eliza Michelson, can remember the date, making it a seemingly impossible task. Despite their efforts being in vain, Walter's fierce determination highlights the human cost of losing one's identity. A quest for truth. Walter refuses to be intimidated by Sir Percival's agents and visits Mrs. Catherick to uncover Sir Percival's secrets. When he finds out that Percival's claims to Blackwater and the title are false, Percival tries to burn the book as proof. Unfortunately, his attempt leads to his death. Walter and Marian's final battle. Walter and Marian are left with no evidence to prove that Laura traveled to London after Anne's death and are desperate to restore her identity. To do this, Walter decides to confront the powerful and cunning Count Fosco, while also proposing to make Laura his wife for her protection. As Laura regains her strength and love for Walter, the two marry and prepare themselves for the ultimate battle against Count Fosco. Through collecting every small detail, Walter discovers a potential weakness in Count Fosco's armor by questioning his mysterious absence from his homeland. Uncovering secrets, the tragic end of Count Fosco. Walter, aided by his friend Professor Pesca, investigates Count Fosco's background. They suspect that the Count is part of a secret brotherhood and may have betrayed them. As Fosco prepares to leave England, Walter forces him to confess to his crimes, but the Count and his wife never make it out of the city. A year later, Walter and Laura have a son, and Mr. Fairley passes away. The group returns to Limerick, where Laura is finally acknowledged as Mr. Fairley's niece. Perspectives in The Woman in White. The Woman in White novel employs a unique literary device that presents the viewpoints of multiple characters involved in the story. Each character gives their perception and interpretation of events, which often conflicts with others. The novel spans 3 time periods and follows the investigation of evil plots by Sir Percival and Count Fosco. Through expertly crafted characters, the author conveys the distinct atmosphere of different places and the language used by different social classes. In The Woman in White, Wilkie Collins uses an unusual approach to narrate events, as no omniscient narrator is present. Instead, the story brings together viewpoints from various characters, resulting in conflicting reports that prompt the reader to decide who to believe. Apart from the main characters, other individuals, such as the family lawyer and housekeeper, provide written reports that are chronologically arranged to reveal evil plots by Sir Percival and Count Fosco. The narrative occurs in 3 periods, beginning with Walter's initial encounter with the titular woman, his stay at Limerick, up to Laura's wedding and subsequent departure. The second section mainly features Marian's viewpoint, covering events at Blackwater up to Laura's apparent death. The final section follows Walter's investigation and ends with a happy ending at Limerick. Collins's talent with psychological insight is evident in the creation of personalities full of depth and unique voices, revealing the differences in social classes' language use. The story's distinct atmosphere also links to characteristics of different places, from Limerick's beauty to Blackwater's threatening mood.
As the intertwining tales in The Woman in White unfold, Walter, Laura, and Marian find their fates irrevocably connected in their quest for justice and truth. With cunning and perseverance, they peel away the layers of deception and ultimately uncover a dangerous secret that binds the fates of the central characters. Through this tale, Wilkie Collins not only delivers a suspenseful narrative, but also explores the role of identity, love, and loyalty in the face of adversity. This captivating novel is a testament to the power of determination and persistence, and serves as a reminder of the strength that can be found in the bonds shared between individuals.